Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business sustainability, and we are in Tehachapi Winery to learn the value of Compay. This is Small Business Celebration. Welcome, where we're celebrating small businesses for big breakthroughs. Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and our guest this week is Michael Chen, the president of the Tehachapi Winery. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Hi, Michael. I'm glad to be here. I'm Michael Chen, the president of Tehachapi Winery.
Now, the reason we're here at the Tehachapi Winery is a lot of people ask, well, what is business of wine like during the off-season? And that's one of the reasons we're talking with Michael Chan today. Now, Michael, how did you get involved with the wine business? Because you didn't start out in the wine business.
Well, number one, I already have a sales channels for wine industries in overseas.
Okay.
So that's number one. And two, the reason doing it in Tehachapi because I was here because of the job relocation.
Oh, really?
So then I learned, I didn't notice there's so many vineyards in Tehachapi.
Right.
Of course, I love wines also, so it kind of drew my attention.
Right.
And I learned about how other people are running their vineyards, and it happened. This where I'm at is available at that point.
Right.
So I purchased the land, and then I started farming grapes. Back in 2012.
Your first bottle of wine was made, what, 4 years later?
Correct. Our first wine is like 2016.
When did you start winning awards for your wine?
I started sending my wines for rating. I think it's late 2018 or early 2019, and so far we have a very good success from these wine competitions, and also receiving a very good ratings too.
How many golds have you guys won so far?
I believe I have 5 golds.
Wow. Okay.
And some silvers and some bronze, and also one of our 2018, which is already sold out at this point, we received a very good rating from a wine enthusiast magazines for 93. They rated 93 points plus awarded the Editor's Choice of the Year.
Congratulations!
Yeah, so
for such a young winery, that's exceptional.
Well, of course, there's a teamwork, and luckily I have a very good winemaker, helping me. So.
And who is your winemaker?
As a Mark Nail.
Mark Nail?
Yeah.
And how long has he been with you?
I think he came on board about 2016 or early 2017.
Oh, so right near the very beginning of everything.
Yeah, correct.
How did you find him?
Back then, I need to learn more about winemaking process.
Right.
And then my friend introduced me. Said, "Oh, he has a good friend. He's a winemaker. So
right.
maybe you should meet him."
Right.
So that's how we got started. That's how we started.
And you invited him up to beautiful Tehachapi, and he's helped you make excellent wine since.
Yeah, not just that though. He's helping me with all the equipment, buying the wine equipment.
Now, one of the things too about this is you primarily export your wine to mainland China and Hong Kong?
Correct.
Are you expanding into the United States?
Yes. In fact, again, the wine tasting opens late 2020.
Right.
And also, luckily, Tehachapi became an AVA in late 2020 as well. That will help me to promote the sales to other states and the local chains.
What does AVA stand for?
That stands for America Viticultural Area.
And that's a very important designation. Why is that?
That's like a kind of like a certification.
Oh.
For you're good for wine grapes.
Oh.
Basically, just like Napa has the same certifications,
right?
And Paso Robles has the same one as well.
So you're a certifiably good red wine now.
Yeah, we can. We can label our wine as an estate wine.
And when we come back, we're going to talk more about the differences between marketing here in the States versus in Asia. But before we do that, Michael, if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, they can find us at tehachapiwinery.com
Okay.
or the Facebook and Instagrams. Or they can email us to info.tehachapiwinery.com.
Okay.
Our address is 22136 Bailey Road in Tehachapi, and the zip code is 93561.
And if you enjoy Small Business Celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify. And when we come back, marketing, marketing, marketing. When we come, right back. The winter season is rapidly approaching, but are the tires on your car or truck ready for wet weather? Bakersfield's best tire store, Cleroux Tire, has been serving families like yours for 80 years and installs and services the tires your family depends on when the wet weather comes. Give Cleroux Tire a call at 661-324-6069 and ask them about what tire works best for you and your budget. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield or at ClerouxTire.com today. The wet winter weather is rapidly approaching. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 today. We're here with Michael Chan, the president of the Tehachapi Winery, and our visionary question comes from Jason, who asks, we're looking at exporting our products domestically. What marketing differences have you found between the U.S. and Asia?
In U.S., we try to educate our customers the differences between the Tehachapi wine and the rest of wines in the countries.
Right.
So Tehachapi is one of the highest elevation in the country, and also the daytime temperature, day and nighttime temperature variance could be as much as 50 degrees.
Really?
Yeah. So it kind of
How does that affect the quality of the wine?
number one, again, because such a high elevations. So we receive more direct sunlight, and it's better for the grapes.
Really?
And the daytime temperature sometimes is as high as 90 degrees during the day, but it will drop to low 50s, maybe even high 40s in the nighttime. So it kind of like during the daytime, it kind of pushes the wine grow, and then at night it chills it down and kind of like keeping the grapes in a hibernating mode.
Oh, okay.
That's the difference, Tehachapi climate and the rest of the country.
And educating the domestic consumer is different in Asia because your customers in Asia, they're not really concerned about that, are they?
Well, that's why whenever I had these sales meetings and the wine shows in China, I always reiterate, the difference of our Tehachapi wine and the other American wines.
And domestically, you're just trying to tell American consumers, we grow grapes in Tehachapi.
That's correct. That's correct.
How is the wine in Tehachapi different than the wine that comes out of Napa and Paso Robles and other parts of California?
Because of the microclimates, if you spend time and taste Tehachapi wine, you will feel the difference, yeah.
Right.
And in fact, most of wine growers here, they're all receiving awards through wine competitions and other ratings good ratings from the other wine magazines.
It's California's best kept secret.
Yeah, correct.
So talk us through a little bit about the process of the wine that you make here and explain to us, how does all this happen?
Well, number one, we are not taking any shortcuts. When we carry out the whole process in-house, of course, after the fermentations, we will put the wine in these oak barrels, the aging, anywhere from 14 months to 2 years.
Wow.
The next process, getting it in the bottle, there will be a few layers of work before the wine can be put into the bottle.
And how many cases of wine do you sell a year?
We are making about 7,000 cases.
7,000 cases. How many bottles of wine are in each case?
That's 12 counts per case.
So my math isn't that great, but 7,000 times 12 is...
That would be 84,000 bottles.
84,000 bottles of wine a year.
Correct.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's good enough for at least 6 bottles for each residence in Tehachapi.
Now, when you started this business, you were a state employee for 20 plus years, right?
Correct.
And yet owning a business is very different. What have you learned as a business owner that you couldn't have imagined as an employee of the state?
Well, as an employee of the state, well, it doesn't matter as a state or other private sector. So you kind of focus, your own areas.
Right.
But a winery is different things because you have the farming portion of it.
Right.
Then you have manufacturing portion of it, and then you have marketing, part
Right.
of it. So there's all three components combined. There's a lot more to deal with.
When you've got all these things to deal with, what happened that you could have never foreseen happening?
Let's say harvesting, okay?
Okay.
The crew is not showing up.
Oh, sure, right, yeah.
Then you have to deal with it. So, or they're not showing up enough members.
Right.
So those are really headache.
You never had that problem when you were working for the state.
No. So different settings, though.
Sure. And how did you overcome that? How did you overcome the fact that you didn't have enough employees to harvest?
That's a learning process, a part of a learning process, I would say. So instead of one, maybe a labor contractor group,
Right.
and then now I have 3 or 4 contacts.
There you go.
So I can find substitute, in a much faster pace, at this point.
I have to ask this question because in the United States, when somebody has a glass of wine with somebody else, they say cheers. What do they say in China?
Oh, there's a ganbei.
Kanpei.
Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. Yeah. And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
The reason we're here with Michael Chen, the president of the Tehachapi Winery, is because of the financial support that comes from visionaries just like you. Simply go to patreon.com/small business celebration and you'll get bonus information, bonus content that you can use to help grow your business. So go to patreon.com/small business celebration and help us celebrate other small business owners who are making big breakthroughs. I'm here with Michael Chen, the president of the Tehachapi Winery, and our visionary question comes from Dean, who asks, we have a showroom in our business but are looking for more community engagement. What have you found that works?
We organize several things here. So we have a line dance and yoga class in the summer.
Wait, you have yoga and line dancing here?
Yeah, that's correct.
Where did this idea come from?
It's the feedback from the customers and partly from my staff.
Is this something that Mark came up with?
Mark is part of it, yes.
So you're blaming him.
Well, I think the community likes it. We receive overwhelming support, for the on the both events.
Does this bring more traffic and more customers to the winery?
Yes, of course.
I'm sorry, I'm just finding it fascinating, the whole idea of yoga in a winery and line dancing. That's just wonderful. How does that logistically work? How do you make that happen?
We hire a yoga instructor, and then if weather is permitted, outside the building.
Okay.
And then when the class finish and everybody, enjoying a glass of wine and talk about, what they're going to do the rest of the day.
Yoga is so much better with a glass of wine.
Correct.
And if you hear a pitter-pattering of paws periodically throughout this episode, it's because they have a dog, and he roams all over the place. What's the dog's name?
Pachum.
Pachum. Okay. And so if you hear things in the background, it's probably Pachum running around sniffing and thinking, what's going on with this whole camera thing? So it's wonderful stuff. Now, what is something that you like to do when you're not here at the winery?
I fish.
You fish?
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
what kind of fishing?
Usually I will go down to the coast and get on the party boat, spend maybe 3/4 or the full day of party boat fishing trip.
Really?
Yep.
Why fishing?
I guess it'll give me a peace of mind so I can focus on the line.
It helps you clear the air, clear the brain of what you're doing here.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
In the last segment, we talked about that you started off as a state employee and that you started this business. What's one piece of business advice you wish you had known beforehand?
you will need to do your own evaluations.
Okay.
Yeah, see your strength.
Okay.
And then also your weakness.
Okay, fair enough. Should you write everything down?
Well, writing it down, the advantage is you try to minimize mistakes.
Okay.
So do your own layout, put all the topics on a piece of paper.
Okay.
So you kind of look it over again and again,
Right.
and make sure you're not missing too much.
Too much.
Too much.
I love it. I love it. And what's the number one solution to all problems?
You never give up.
Drink more wine, right?
And drink more wine.
Well, Michael, this has been a real privilege. Thank you for joining us here on Small Business Celebration.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
And if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Well, they can contact us at the info.tehachapiwinery.com.
Okay.
Or visit our website, which is tehachapiwinery.com as well. And our address is at 22136 Bailey Road in Tehachapi. The zip code is at 93561.
And I'll be right back with my final thought. The winter season is rapidly approaching, but are the tires on your car or truck ready for wet weather? Bakersfield's best tire store, Cleroux Tire, has been serving families like yours for 80 years and installs and services the tires your family depends on when the wet weather comes. Give Cleroux Tire a call at 661-324-6069 and ask them about what tire works best for you and your budget. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 or visit them at 530 East 21st Street in Bakersfield or at ClerouxTire.com today. The wet winter weather is rapidly approaching. Call Cleroux Tire at 661-324-6069 today. The egg or the chicken? As I was editing this episode with Michael Chan, he brought up something that was very important. You see, when he started his business, he had the customers ready to go, but he didn't have the product in which to sell it to them. Now, I don't know about you, but I've fallen into this trap where I've created the perfect product or the perfect service. And then I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to figure out who to sell it to, who's going to buy it, and for how much would they actually be willing to spend in buying that product or using that service. Well, what if instead of putting the chicken before the egg in that situation, what if we did like Michael Chan? What if we went out and talked to prospects, talked to customers, asked them what it was that they wanted, and found out how much they'd be willing to spend for it. In essence, putting the egg before the chicken. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week with Michael Chan, the president of the Tehachapi Winery, and I hope you join us again here next week as we celebrate another small business with a big breakthrough. By the way, what kind of a dog retrieves red wine?
Oh.
What kind of a dog retrieves red wine?
Red dog?
No, a Labrador retriever.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Labrador retriever, yeah.
Welcome to Small Business